Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Dark Souls 3 OST reaction. And again, as we're nearing the end of this retrospective, if you will, we also have to contend ourselves with only our third Lord of Cinder we've had to talk about in this whole retrospective, and one that always gets a little bit left out somewhat in terms of discussions because the Abyss Watchers is absolutely one of the best fights in From Software's history. But I'm not entirely sure. Well, considering the pedigree and considering the long list of intricate and very calculated and designed fights across just the original Dark Souls trilogy itself, the standard is so high that just being a good fight is sort of, you have to go a little bit above and beyond things that you've genuinely never seen before. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a bit of a tip, I suppose. And this is actually like something I've never thought to do before during these OSTs. But if you are playing Dark Souls 3 for the first time and you get up to the Abyss Watchers and you get stuck, here's my advice: run backwards whenever he's like ready to like leap into the air and slam into you. If you can run backwards, then you are literally you've won the fight. Once I learned how to do that properly and do it according to his moves, literally he had no answer. Now, with that being said, the actual music itself is beyond belief, because remember, you fight the Watchers in this crypt as soon as you forced your way through is it Farron, like Farron Swamp or Farron Keep? But basically you get to the end of this place, you go through black wraiths, you go through those toxic mongrels, and then you finally encounter the Abyss Watchers slowly killing each other inside what basically a tomb of their own making, surrounded by corpses. And then you are encountered one by Abyss Watcher after Abyss Watcher. And then you fight him one-on-one into his second stage. But let's get into it. And of course the bell tolls. This is the first Lord of Cinder you do truly fight. This is like the first major challenge. And as before, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, the Abyss Watchers is sort of like the following. This is basically the followers of the the Abyss Walker, Knight Artorias. He is basically the figure who was basically the Abyss Watchers were sort of just sent out to stop or at least observe like the spread of the abyss that Artorias gave his very sanity to stop. And I'm not entirely sure how it would even come about that you could give at least a whole dozen or so watchers the singular soul of being a Lord of Cinder. But I suppose maybe because you fight a singular Abyss Watcher in its second stage, maybe we can only assume that this was the Lord of Cinder itself, and everybody just trained in his in his honor and his wake. It probably would also explains why the soul you get from it is called Soul of the Blood of the Wolf. Maybe this was there, and they all sort of like I was going to say they almost adopt sort of like Artorias' fighting style, but it's sort of a little bit of like Artorias and Sif. And I know those two share very similar movesets, but there's a little bit, again, maybe just in learning how to fight against the Abyss or to just observe. Because remember, as soon as you defeat the Abyss Watchers, you immediately move into the Catacombs of Carthrus. And once you get to the very end of it, you basically fight High Lord Wolnir in the Void. So in what is sort of like the Abyss. So it's not very difficult to say that you have to encounter the Abyss very soon afterwards, which is probably why the Abyss Watchers were standing where they were. And no doubt probably they all got too close and they started to, well, they had no choice but to massacre each other. But because theoretically, again, they are now all undead, they just come back and will proceed until literally none of them stand, or at least return them to their rightful throne at the Filing Shrine. So there is a lot as well. And I mentioned the thing about Artorias again, because you can exchange the soul for either the actual like sword and dagger that the Abyss Watchers use, or you can get Artorias' greatsword. If you know, you know. And it's no surprise that literally on my very first like full playthrough of Dark Souls 3, I got Artorias' sword, I got his armor, and I even got his great shield. It's also no surprise, ladies and gentlemen, that the Covenant to join I don't know if it's just like the Wolf Clan, if it's a Wolf Clan or anything like. But basically, it's no surprise that you can join the Covenant in around Farron Keep, which again at the end of it is where you find the Abyss Watchers. Now that's what I wanted to talk about immediately, but I also wanted to talk about one unfortunate aspect of the fight, and that is, well, in retrospect, this. Yes, this is just... I wish there was a way I could, like... I'm going to find the moment itself, because this is just kind of... It's funny, absolutely, but it's...
No, Papega!
Kind of, it's kind of disappointing that it is literally just sort of... It's the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I think of anybody fighting the Abyss Watchers, because it's once again a good reminder of the fact that it's not really I don't think the Abyss Watchers is difficult if you want to make it difficult. I think I think a lot of the challenge in Dark Souls 3, as well as like the other games, is whether or not you truly want to make it hard, because you could be, well, why do I say that? Well, let me demonstrate. I may as well just play the whole fight. It's not particularly very long, but, well, here it is. This is his second attempt, by the way, at fighting the Abyss Watchers.
Sounds stupid,
so
but
bear that in mind.
I thought I was going to one-shot it. We'll see what happens, though. I played kind of stupidly there, so it's not a surprise it didn't go too well.
And look at
the run back isn't too bad,
like
so I'm not too upset about it.
Ground.
Okay.
Okay, here it is.
So he's gonna do the roll. Okay. Got him. Got him. Okay, that. Okay, hitting him twice. Okay, there's one down.
In like
All right.
6 hits.
That was easy, boss, dude. I already beat him. Easy.
I'll just skip ahead a little bit.
All right. Okay. I don't know if I'll have time to heal before he attacks me again. I'll see where he starts out at first. If he's close, I won't be able to heal. Yeah, he's not. Okay. Let me get my souls. Okay, so what's he gonna do? He's slower this time. Okay, I thought I'd get away from him. I guess not. Okay. That was a mistake on my end. Okay.
Here it is. For the
Down there. Okay. Wait, what?
yes, absolutely. And you can see in the chat as well, look, they can't believe it.
I thought in the cinematic there was 4 of them.
Yeah, okay, so putting that aside, it's not really damaged like the reputation of the Abyss Watchers in many cases because of this, but I still think that the Abyss Watchers is a really, really good fight. It's basically what almost people would call like a difficulty curve. It's where, because you've basically completed like the first third of the game once you get past the Abyss Watchers, and depending on how good, if you cannot get past the Abyss Watchers, then you've got to do something different, or you've sort of proved you've learned absolutely nothing. And bear in mind, face tanking doesn't solve all your problems in this game. I say that after just literally putting on an Asmongold clip, but it does need repeating. You do need a little bit of skill, perhaps a little bit, but sometimes you can just sort of attack if you can do it. But with all that being said and done, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this OST reaction to the Abyss Watchers, and I cannot wait to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.